Holy mackerel! Hi everybody, welcome to Holy Mackerel Moments number 18. We are here to celebrate those wondrous moments in life that make us want to say, Holy mackerel! Thank you, Leigh. My friend Leigh gave me that. We're going to the circus today with a clown and an elephant. But first, I know there's always a but first, but these are good but firsts. Gifted psychic Kim Carey of Intuitiview graciously asked me to guest on her recent Sunday talk show. And I loved it. She's so kind. She's so wise. And we talked about all kinds of interesting stuff. And it was a live stream, so some of her viewers in the chat typed in their Holy Mackerel moments. It was very cool. I'll put the link below. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, viewers. And one of her viewers, Gail, wrote me a letter. She said I could share it. Here it is. Hi, Harry. I adore your show. I've decided to make it part of my end of the day ritual to go to bed happy. Wow. Thank you, Gail. I should try that.
A little touch of Harry in the night.
Oh, right. She goes on. My holy mackerel moment. When I was in high school in the early 70s, I was in the kitchen browsing the TV guide, waiting to help my mom with the dishes. I saw that there was a movie scheduled to come on soon, Where Were You When the Lights Went Out? I was excited about it as I remembered the blackout that movie was based on. So I said, hey, Ma, the movie Where Were You When the Lights Went Out is going to be on. As soon as I said it, our lights went out. Only for a few minutes, but holy mackerel, it kind of freaked us out. Thanks for letting me share my story, and thanks for the joy your show brings, Gail Welch. Thank you, Gail. That is so cool. What timing? I'm telling you. I remember that movie. It was a Doris Day comedy, and it was based on the big blackout in New York City many years ago. Of course, I think about the symbolism, and it makes me hope that all of us are not letting our lights go out. Of course, we wouldn't be human if we didn't flicker a little bit and sputter now and then, but if we can keep shining as best as we can, like Marianne Williamson said in that brilliant piece she wrote that Nelson Mandela recited in his inauguration speech. And I'm paraphrasing wildly, but basically she says we're not helping anybody by playing it small, but when we allow ourselves to shine, by doing so, we're giving others permission to let themselves shine.
There is always a light. When we are ready to see it, there is always a light. When we are ready to be it, to see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night, to climb this hill, together we will.
And like Stevie Wonder says in that mind-boggling song A.S. in his Songs in the Key of Life album, there's the line, for I know deep in my mind, the love of me I've left behind. Love of self? Why not, say I? Why not indeed? Let's go to the circus. Emmett Kelly was the most famous clown in the world and the pride and joy of the most famous circus in the world, Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. Thing is, though, he was a sad clown. He'd created a character he called Weary Willie, and Willie was a tattered, unshaven hobo. And at first, circus bosses balked and said, why? Who wants to see a sad clown? But they let him try it out, and audiences fell in love with him. They could relate to his struggles, especially during the Great Depression, and they would watch Willie sitting on the sidelines, sadly eating a cabbage leaf while watching other performers. Or they would watch him hanging his laundry on a low trapeze tightrope. He was touching and hilarious and resilient. Woe begone Weary Willie was plagued by bad luck and problems, but he always persevered. He never spoke, he made sounds, and here he is on on What's My Line.
Are you a clown?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're a sad clown?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first clown's name that comes to my mind is Emmett Kelly.
And Emmett Kelly it is. You've been making him look sadder and sadder.
Oh, Emmett, I am sorry. And you know, I understood you're not allowed to speak with your makeup on, are you, Emmett? And it was very hard for him to say, even, wasn't it, Emmett?
Isn't he great? Emmett was very careful about his Weary Willie persona, and when he was in character, in makeup, he never smiled, except once. He was in character, it was between shows, he was being interviewed by a reporter with a camera stationed next to a payphone, anxiously awaiting an important call. He'd never been a father before, but he was about to be, and when the phone rang, he heard the doctor say, "Congratulations, you're the father of a happy, healthy, beautiful baby girl." At that moment, Weary Willie smiled. The reporter took a picture of him right then, and that photograph went across the globe. It was headline news. Weary Willie smiles, with a heartwarming story of Emmett Kelly learning of the birth of his daughter. She was named Stacia. She and her dad were very close. They lived in a house with a big backyard and a vegetable garden where they spent many happy hours together. Fast forward 25 years. Stacia's talking to her dad on the phone. He says, "I'm tired, Stacia." Later that night, he was gone. She woke up to the news, threw some stuff together, got on an airplane to fly home to arrange for the funeral. She wanted to be alone. The plane was mostly full, and the seat next to her was empty. Good. But right before the doors shut, a middle-aged man got on the plane, sat right next to her. I almost missed the flight. After a while, she opened her purse and pulled out an old newspaper clipping, Weary Willie Smiles, that had that photograph. And she realized, looking at it, he was smiling because she had been born, and it made her cry. And at that moment, the man next to her tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me?" She said, "Yes." He said, "That photograph." She said, "Yes, it's Emmett Kelly. He was my dad. He died last night. But this photo is from the day I was born." He said, "I know, Stacia. I was there. I had never seen a man so happy. So I just had to snap that picture." The man who happened to be sitting next to her happened to be the reporter who took that photograph.
Holy mackerel, holy mackerel.
After that miracle, she felt all was right with the world and everything would be okay, and that her dad was okay. And she and Frank Beatty, the photographer, became very close friends. He was her wedding photographer, and he helped her launch her career in broadcasting.
Hold it. I think you're going to like this picture.
Sorry
And he's
about
a daddy, too. He has a little clown.
He's a daddy and has a little clown, too.
Klaus was an elephant trainer at a circus in Germany many years ago, and he was well aware that animals in the circus didn't exactly volunteer for their jobs, so he was extremely sensitive and gentle and kind to his elephant friends. But there was one in particular. Rose was an elephant he felt a soul connection with. Whenever he looked in her eyes, he felt they were communicating on such a deep level, in such a clear way. He felt like he was in the presence of an intimate friend. He adored her. Klaus left the circus. 12 years went by. But one day he saw in the morning paper that circus he used to work at, the traveling circus, was coming to his hometown the following week. And he said, I'm going to go as an audience member. So the next week, he bought a ticket, walked into the big top, sat in the front row, hoping to see an old friend. Well, there were lots of changes. He saw some old friends, but lots of new people, new animals. A lot can happen in 12 years. Finally, the Elephant Act was announced. The flap of the tent opened. In walked the current trainer, followed by Elephant. 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 And Rose. Rose was still there. It was her. He got so excited. He bought a candied apple on a stick so he could really enjoy the performance. And he was watching them do their tricks, so happy. A big piece of apple got caught in his throat and he could not breathe. No one around him noticed he was in trouble. Rose stopped doing her trick and started walking away. The trainer said, "Rosie, get back here." Audience members said, "Look, the elephant's running away." Rose paid no attention. She walked straight up to Klaus, lowered her head, wrapped her trunk around his waist, and squeezed. And that piece of apple flew out of his mouth, and Klaus could breathe. Because his dear friend Rose had just saved his life. Holy mackerel. That's what friends are for. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.